Hello, hello. Hi. Hey, welcome to this live stream. Sariana Biswas. Am I saying your name right? Welcome to the streaming. Hi. Hello, everybody. I am live now here on YouTube. If you are elsewhere, if you're on TikTok and you're watching this, go to YouTube. We're going to be talking about travel vocabulary today. It's nice to see everybody. Hello, hello. Let's wait a little bit for people to join, and then we'll talk, okay? Hey, what's up? How you doing? It was Carl. Hi, Juana. Thanks for joining in. Hello, how you doing? Turkey, thanks for joining in. For those of you who are watching, can you tell me here in the chat on YouTube where you're watching this from? Excellent. Sri Lanka, hi, welcome. For those of you who are watching on TikTok, come to YouTube. I'm going to be explaining some travel vocabulary. Oh, hello, India, Myanmar. Thank you so much for joining in, you guys. Super. It's an honor to be here. Hello, Pakistan. Thanks for coming. Hello, Iraq. Thanks for coming. Super nice. Alrighty, people. Look, what we're going to be talking about today, basically, we're going to be talking about travel vocabulary. I want to thank you all so much for following me. I've reached the milestone of 100,000 followers here on YouTube. I'm very happy to be here, happy to be helping and teaching. It's a pleasure. Potato Head Girl, that's a good name, from Cambodia. Thanks for coming. Cool. So yeah, basically what we're going to be talking about today is travel vocabulary. I've prepared a free lesson to thank all of you for following me. Again, I'm very happy. It's an honor to be here and teaching you guys. There is a rebellion in education. I'll tell you this. Through education, you can change the world. Remember that, okay? Cool. Look, what we're going to be talking about here today, so it's, again, travel vocabulary. Um, I want to ask you guys some questions, and you can write here in our chat. Hello, Brazil. Um, so that we can start talking together. So if you're going to travel, now after the pandemic is much better nowadays, so I'm imagining people are starting to travel. So right here in the chat, where would you like to travel next? I mean, everybody likes to travel. It's one of the best things we can do. So where would you like to go next? What is your next destination? It could be another country. It could be another city in your home country. Right here in the chat, let me know. For those of you that are watching on TikTok, come to YouTube. Then you can see what I'm talking about. So we have some answers here. Paris. Hello, Georgia. I would like to go to Canada, New York. Oh, wow. New York is the best city in the world. Love it. Very, very good. Thanks for participating, you all. Now, this is the place that you want to travel to. You probably want to have a good vocabulary when you travel, when you're on a plane, at an airport, when you're ordering food at a restaurant. You know, I want to travel to Thailand, Florida, Korea. I would like to go to Germany as a registered nurse. Super. Oh, thanks for your service. Super nice. Excellent. Cool. You guys, look, I'm going to start today. The first thing we're going to talk about are phrasal verbs. Phrasal verbs for traveling. Now, here's a question. Does anybody know what a phrasal verb is? Phrasal verbs. Now, this is a question. If you want, you can please write in the chat. What is the definition of a phrasal verb? Does anybody know? Verb with the preposition. Excellent. That's it. You can actually say it's a verb plus a particle. It could be an adverb. It could be a preposition. It's a verb and another word. Does anybody remember any phrasal verbs that we can give me as an example? What phrasal verbs do you remember? Look, you could say, get up in the morning. Get is the verb, and up is the preposition. That makes it a phrasal verb. Does anybody remember any others? Get up, good. Aisha, take off. Bimala, Irfan, pick up. I'm hoping that I'm saying your names right. I'm sorry if I'm saying them wrong. Never give up, pull over, hang out, close up. Yes, definitely. Very good, you guys. Now, what we're going to be doing here, we're going to be talking about some phrasal verbs that we use for traveling. So the first phrasal verb that I'm going to be talking about is to take off. Take off. Look, let me change the position of my computer here so you can see what I'm doing. Hello. Hi, thanks for joining in. Now, I'm hoping that you can see my whiteboard here. Can you see this okay? I hope you can. People on TikTok, come to YouTube, then you see what I'm doing. So the first phrasal verb we're going to be talking about today is take off. Oops, here, a little this way. Just give me 1 second, people, so I can adjust a few things here. Take off, there you go. Now, look, take off, it's when the airplane is going up in the air, when you leave in a place. Does anybody remember what the opposite is? So the airplane takes off. And the opposite, when the airplane is arriving, is what? Land. Very good. Landing. Marios, we don't say take on. It's better to say land, but it's okay. Good try. No problem. Very good. So this is the first one. Take off. There's another phrasal verb we use when you enter the airplane or a train or a bus. That would be get on. And the opposite would be get off. So you enter, get on, and you get off the bus, the airplane. Remember, because a bus and an airplane, they're platforms, you get on them, not in. You get in the car, but you get on a bus, get on an airplane. Okay? Check in. I'm seeing some other phrasal verbs. Another phrasal verb we're going to be talking about is pick up. If you go to the airport to pick somebody up, they've arrived to visit you, then you pick them up. And the opposite would be drop off. Maybe you're going to see somebody off at the airport and you're going to say goodbye to them, then you drop them off. Okay? People, is this visible? Is it okay? I hope it is. So we have take off and land, get on and off, pick up and drop off. Now, there's one thing that people sometimes confuse. They mix these words up. And one of the words is come back. Come back. Now, when I say come back, I can also say go back. But these two words are different. Now, does anybody remember the difference between come back and go back? Write in the chat. Let's see if you guys can get this idea. Oh, so many. Thanks for coming, people. Super nice. Excellent. Very good. Anybody? It's easy to mix them, Miriam. We ask them to come back. Come back to me and go back to him. Okay, that's a good idea. It means return. Good, Aisha. Good. You can substitute those two words by return. Here we go. That you come back, but you go back means they go back. Okay? People, here's the idea. When you come back, you return, but you return here. So let's say I'm in the United States. I'm going to travel to Europe. Then I'm going to come back here to New York, for example. I have to return here. When I go, it makes sense, right? Come here, go there. When I go back there. So let's say I am now in Europe and I want to go back to the United States. And I say, I'm going to go back to New York because I am here in Europe. Does that make sense? So come here, go there. The last phrasal verb I wanted to talk about is stop over. This is when you have when you're in the middle of a long journey and you have to stop somewhere in between airports or in between destinations. You stop at an airport and then you stop over. People, these are phrasal verbs that we use while we're traveling. Does that make sense? Come back is to return, and go back is also return. You can use the same word for both, Miriam. Thanks for participating. Love from India. Thank you so much for watching. Super nice. Now, some other words, not only phrasal verbs, people, that we use, that we can use at airports or when you're traveling. These words are, check them out. You can use a boarding pass. That's a word that we use for when you enter the airplane, you have to have a boarding pass. Another one, it's carry on bags. You can carry on your bags or you can check in your bigger bags. Another word is baggage claim. That's an area of the airport in where you pick up your bags. Does that make sense? All of these words we're talking about are going to be down here in the description of the video. You guys can check it out later, okay? Oh my gosh, I really need to buy an eraser. Look at this. Any questions so far, guys? We're going to be talking about questions that you hear at the airport now, but any other questions about what we're talking so far? Please let me know in the chat, okay? Call off. That's good. That's a good question. If you call something off, you cancel. You know, I'm going to call off the class. I'm going to cancel the class. We're not going to do this now, and I'm going to postpone it for a little later. Excellent. Very good. Now, the second part that what we're going to do, and I'm going to write these questions here in the chat so you guys can see this too. These are questions that you might hear at an airport. So let me write them here in the chat. And then we can read them together. Is that okay? Okay, here we go. They're in the chat. People, if you're on TikTok, make sure that you go to YouTube so you can see what I'm talking about, okay? So some of the questions we're going to be talking about, these are questions you might hear when you are at an airport. Check these. Could I see your boarding pass, please? You know, the boarding pass, as we spoke, is that paper that you use to enter the airplane. So you're going to enter, you're going to get on the airplane, then you need the boarding pass, and the person will say, can I please see your boarding pass? That's one. Could I see your passport? You've got to have a passport when you're traveling, right? So the pass, can I see this? Would you mind if I see it? How much check-in baggage do you have? These are questions that I put in the chat here on YouTube, you people. Do you have any carry-on baggage? And do you have a visa? In many of the countries that we travel to, many times you need a visa to enter on, and then you have the visa on your passport, and you can just show it to them. Okay? Excellent. Very good. People, make sure that you ask me questions if you don't understand something. I would love to help you, okay? If you're on TikTok, people, what you want to do is you want to go to YouTube. That's where I am. Then you can see my board. Excellent. Hello. Cool. Now, people, we're talking about airplanes and airports. And again, we're in this video, we're talking about travel vocabulary. Can anybody here remember any words that we would use at a hotel? What kind of words, what kind of vocabulary words do you use when you go to a hotel where you're going to stay overnight at a hotel to visit a place or to visit a famous, like when you go to Paris, for example, if you stay at a hotel, what kind of words do we use at a hotel? Please, right here in the chat. Booking, yes. You can book a single or a double room. Very good, Dilek. Hello, Turkey. Booking. I would like to book a room. Excellent. Very good. Reserve, you could say reserve too. English is my second language. Very good. Aesthetic. Very nice. Excellent. Do you have a room available? Wanna? Very nice. Book a hotel. Can I get a single room? Check in. Very good. It's simple, but it's true. Yes. Oh, you're very welcome, Pati. Very good. Explain drop off. Real quickly, drop off, it's when it's the opposite of pick up. You're going to pick up some people. If you call an Uber, it will pick you up and they will drop you off somewhere. Okay. Hello, Libya. Cool. Look, here are some words that you can use at a hotel. Let me write them down here for you. Of course, these are more basic words, but we use them all the time. Check in, and the opposite, check out. Look, you guys, when in English, these are phrasal verbs. We were talking earlier about them. When you check in, you use a verb and a preposition, in this case, a verb plus a particle, and then it becomes a phrasal verb. Many phrasal verbs, not all, but many phrasal verbs, you will have, in this case, the preposition in, and the opposite will be exactly the opposite of the phrasal verb. So the opposite of in is out. So if you check in, you check out. We were talking earlier about get on. The opposite of on, it's off. Get on, get off, turn on, turn off. Does that make sense? Now, another word, as you guys helped me here, you can book a room. Of course, a book is something like this. But in the past, before computers, they would use books to write down the name of the guests at a hotel, and then the verb stuck. And then we still use, I want to book a room. Okay. When you're traveling around the city, let's say again, you're visiting Paris or you're visiting London or Tokyo or New York, do you know those buses that go around, like tourist buses that they go around the city? They're called hop on and off. Again, look, the opposite of on is off. Oh, sorry about my handwriting. Hop on, it's when you enter the bus. Hop off would be the opposite. Hop is like to jump. So you're going to enter the bus, get on the bus, hop on, and get off the bus, hop off the bus. Excellent. Very good. Now, here's a question that you should know before you travel. Let's say you're going to visit a friend in another city. What is the word if I have my bags and I'm going to put clothes in my bag to travel? There's a verb, specific verb for that. What is that word? Anybody? It's a verb, and it's not going to be a phrasal verb necessarily. Does anybody know? Oh, people here on TikTok are responding. Very good. I'm doing this live on TikTok and YouTube, people. Look at this. Hello. To pack. Gabriel, very good. Puking, maybe packing? Pack, very good, guys. Pack. Marius, you had, it's okay, no problem. To pack, you can pack up your bags or just pack your bags. Very good, you guys. I think you're ready to travel, all of you. Very good. Excellent. Okay, let's see, I have a question here. My brain be like, when someone asks a question, switch off. True? You can switch it off. Very good. All right, you guys. Look, no questions so far. Here and there. No problems? Excellent. All right, people. Look, uh, I'm going to be going through the last section of our video here, of our lesson today, and we're going to be talking about modal verbs. One of the most important things to talk about when you're traveling, maybe, vocabulary, of course, but you should know about modal verbs. So I'm going to ask you guys here and there, do you remember modal verbs? Previously, we were talking about phrasal verbs and travel vocabulary. We're still talking about traveling, but what are modal verbs? Does anybody know? Come on, write it in the chat. Let me see your answers. Oh, people on TikTok are doing it right. Anybody here on YouTube? I don't, no problem. That's okay, we're gonna learn together. Oh, here we go. Could, would, should, must, Miriam. Jating, you don't know, it's okay. Can, could, yes. Have to, very good. Hi, Patty, you're from Brazil, that's good. Thanks for joining in. May, might, must, you guys are good. Excellent, very good. So some of these phrasal verbs will be used to ask about permission or advice. Look, let me write a question here using should, or maybe a suggestion. You should always, so I'm going to write here in the chat of our, in our chat here on YouTube. Let me write this for you. Just a second. Okay, so we're going to go the first example here. I'm going to write here in the chat, you guys. Which should, you should always bring an international credit card when you travel. Now, when you travel in your home country or abroad, when you go to another country to visit, tell me, what should I do? You give me an advice now. You should what? Write in the chat. Come on, let's see. What should you do when you're traveling? Miriam, sorry, but modal is very difficult to use for me. It's okay. Let's practice. We can do this together. Don't worry. You should check your passport first. Jian, very good. Should be ready. Should bring your own medicine. People on TikTok are writing too. Should check your visa. You should help me in English. I love this. Very good. Excellent. You should keep material for travel. Okay, all right. You should have money. That's a good one. Excellent. You should bring your clothes. Excellent. Very good. You should always know a little background information about the country. Iran or Irene. That's so true. You've got to know the culture of the country before you go there. Totally agree. Okay, how about one that's a bit stronger? It's a stronger advice. Let me write here. How about must? Let's talk about must for a second. You must kind of sound, it could sound as if it was an obligation. So I'm going to write here in the chat, you must carry an international driver's license to drive in the US. Must buy a flight ticket. Very good. Must take your ID card. Very good, you guys. You're excellent. Rahul, the opposite word of kind, it's unkind. Okay, here we go. Going back to the must. You must carry your passport. You must follow the rules. True. You must drive with a driver's license. Uh, Jibitesh, just remember that when you write the license, you want to say driver's license because that's my license. I'm the driver. Okay, very good. You must book a hotel. Excellent. Should be on time. Very good, guys. Excellent. So here we go. We have should, we have must, and then you guys told me about can. Can or cannot. This is more about permission. When you can do something, it means that you are allowed to do something. Now, what is something that let's put this in the negative, in like a negative sentence. What is something that you cannot do, that you are not allowed to do in your country when you're traveling? Does anybody want to participate? So, see, in the United States, you can't drive without a driver's license. It's not allowed. People will, the police will stop you over and pull you over, and it's going to be a problem. Anybody? You cannot be drunk. Very good, especially if you're driving. Very good. You can't lose your flight, Alberto. Remember, when you talk about flight, you want to say miss. You can't miss your flight. That's good, though. Thanks for participating. You can't smoke indoors. You must carry your passport. You can't swear at anyone else. Excellent. That's a good idea. You want to be kind to people. Very good. You cannot drive drunk, Maria. Excellent. Excellent. Very good. You cannot smoke. Very good. Okay. I cannot pronounce your name from Malaysia, but thanks for coming. Thanks for being here. Excellent. You cannot smoke in public areas. That's it. These people are modal verbs. So remember, you have not only must or should. Let me put here in the chat. And remember, you will have this in the description of the video after we're finished. You can check it out. But you have must, shall, will, should, would, can, could, may, and might. These are modal verbs that you can use while you're traveling. So let's recap. In the beginning of the lesson today, we were talking about airport vocabulary, especially phrasal verbs. We're talking about taking off, get on, pick up and drop off. Remember, when you have words like get on and get off, sometimes remember you have the one preposition. If it's on, for example, the opposite will be off always. So you get on the bus, get off the bus, you get in the car, the opposite of in is out, get out of the car. Okay? Now, you can also have your carry-on bags, your boarding pass, your passport, your visa when you're traveling in airports. Okay? We also studied some sentences and some questions you can hear when you're traveling at an airport. Like, can I see your boarding pass, for example? Do you have any carry-on luggage? Can I see your passport? Could I see your passport? And things like this. Okay? Now, hotel vocabulary words, we were talking about check-in and booking and hop on and off and pack your bags. And finally, we were talking about modal verbs. You can see this all in the description here. Okay? Guys, I'm going to wrap it up here. Thank you so much for coming. If you have any question, this is the moment to ask them. I'm going to open the microphone for you guys to ask questions if you want. And in 2 minutes, I'm going to have to go because I have another class. I teach classes on Zoom privately. So ask me questions. And remember, share the page, like. Thank you so much for being here. And thanks everybody for 100,000 followers on YouTube, 1.5 million followers on TikTok, and 100,000 on Instagram. That's crazy. I'm very happy about that. Thank you, guys. Very good. Okay, I have a question here from Dutz. What is the difference between check-in baggage and carry-on baggage? Okay, good. Look, the bags that you check in are those very big bags. They can be like 23 or 24 kilos sometimes if you're traveling internationally. And if you go over, it's like oversized baggage. But the bags that you check in, the check-in bags, are the ones that you, when you go to the check-in counter, you give to the attendant, and the bag will disappear in the conveyor belt behind them, okay? The carry-on luggage that are the carry-on bags that are the hand baggage that you have, smaller bags that you can carry, maybe like a backpack or one of those small suitcases that you can carry onto the airplane. Okay, excellent. Definition of a modal, maybe I think it's modal verbs. Uh, modal verbs are they're auxiliary verbs that help us ask questions. Like we were talking before, could, should, would, can, might, things like this. And they will help you ask questions about permission and obligation and things like this. Thank you so much. Thank you. Very nice. All right, people, I'm going to go now. Thanks again. From my heart, peace. Be kind to people. There's so much hate in the world, so try to be kind, try to be calm, because that really helps. Okay, everyone that's around you. So thanks again for coming, and I hope to see you in around. Maybe when I post something, you can participate. I'll try to remember your names. Okay, thank you so much. Bye, everybody. Thank you.